Hey everyone, and welcome to the Humble Gent YouTube channel, and I hope all of you are having a great day. And in this video, we'll be talking about my favorite budget dress watch, and that is the Orient Bambino version 1 generation 2. And in this video, I'm going to give you my take on the Orient Bambino and explain why it is my favorite budget dress watch. And before we get started here, we'll do a quick wrist check. So what I'm wearing right now, I'm wearing the Tissot V8 Swissmatic. So we'll get a quick close-up of the Tissot V8 Swissmatic. And this is a beautiful watch that came out in Baselworld 2018. And I hope you guys enjoy this video and the review of the Orient Bambino version 1. Alright, let's start this review of the Orient Bambino. This is the version 1 generation 2. And with the version 1, that means it's the style of it. And honestly, this is my favorite style out of all the Bambino watches. And generation 2 means it has hacking and hand winding. And to be honest with you, I was never really a fan of the Orient Bambino watches. And I know they have great value, but the version 1 was just always my favorite out of all of them. And that's why I decided to purchase this one. So before we get started, we'll get a close-up look at the dial. And with all the Orient Bambinos, the dial is the selling point, and it really does look great for this version 1. And yes, there's other versions that have completely different styles, but they all have pretty much the same dimensions except for the brand new one. But the version 1 is my favorite. If you look at it here, it is a really vintage style watch. It does have a sunburst style, which is really nice. And overall, it's just a clean, really classy dress watch. For the price of $150, you really can't beat it. After handling this watch for about 2 months or so, I was actually really surprised. So one of the most prominent features of the Orient Bambino is this domed mineral crystal that they all have. And as you can see, that mineral crystal is domed, and it really does give it a unique look. It gives it a vintage style look, and it really makes these look awesome. The domed mineral crystal is nice. A lot of people do wish it was sapphire, but for the price of $120 to $150, you really can't beat it. This watch looks like a way more expensive watch than it is, and that's why it's so popular. Also, with the version 1, it does have a sunburst style, which is really nice, and it also has very nice applied markers and Delphine hands. With the good looking hands of this watch, also with the really prominent hour markers, it really makes this watch stand out, and it really makes it look like a high quality end watch. The Orient Bambinos also have a date window at the 3 o'clock, and that's one of the main features of all the Orient Bambinos. And what's nice is it does have a black border around the 3 o'clock date window. And looking at the side of the Orient Bambino version 1, it does have a brush side on here. And in contrast with the brush side, it does have a polished bezel. Looking at the case back of the Orient Bambino, it is highly polished, which makes it really easy to pick up scratches. And looking at the side of the Orient Bambino, it does have a signed crown, which is really nice for this price point. And like I said, the Orient Bambino does have a mineral crystal, but I wish it at least had a hard-lex Seiko crystal, which would make it a little bit more scratch resistant, because with this mineral crystal, it is prone to scratches, and if this came with a sapphire crystal, it would be honestly awesome. A domed sapphire crystal would be perfect for this, but like I said, for this price point, you can't expect a sapphire crystal. So really quick, I'll go over the specs of the Orient Bambino version 1. It does have a 40.5 case diameter, and it does fit really nice on the wrist. It does have an 11.5 width, and due to the dome crystal, it gives it that 11.5 width. Without that, it would be a much less, because if you look at the crystal is almost half the width of this watch. And with the highly domed mineral crystal, it actually wears a lot smaller than you would think. The lug for this watch is 46.5 millimeters, which makes it really comfortable to wear, and it would fit many wrist sizes. So if you guys didn't notice, the leather strap I have on here is an aftermarket leather strap that does have a butterfly deployment clasp. I did take the original strap off because the quality wasn't that great, and in my opinion the color wasn't that good either. The one that came with this, it was a really dark brown color, and it was almost too dark, where it almost looked black, but it really wasn't nice. And like I said, the quality wasn't there. I switched over to a black leather bracelet that made it look a lot more classy, and the quality of this one is so much better. With the good quality Seiko and Orient watches at this price point, the dials look really nice, and Seiko and Orient do have to cut costs somewhere, and where they do it is the bracelets. For this one, it was the black leather bracelet that came with it, and for most of the Seikos and Orients at this price point, all you would have to do is replace the bracelet for it, and you would have an all-around good quality watch. So the original leather strap that came with the Orient Bambino was 21 millimeters, which was unfortunate. You don't have a huge variety of straps at that size, but I did end up replacing the strap for this one, which I'm extremely happy with. So this Orient Bambino is 68 grams, which makes it really light on the wrist, and it also has 30 meters of water resistance. And with that, this is splash proof. I would not submerge this in water. I would not go swimming with this watch. With the Orient Bambino, there's many versions of this watch, and it gets kind of complicated, but just know the version is the style of the watch, and the generation, there's generation 1 and 2. Generation 1s don't have the hand winding and hacking, and the generation 2 does have hand winding and hacking. Other than the hand winding and hacking, the generations don't mean much, so if you don't care about the hand winding and hacking, you can get this exact watch here with non-hand winding and hacking with the same exact design for a cheaper price. So with the Orient Bambino, you do get an in-house Orient movement, which is really accurate, especially for the price. The movement, I believe, it's the F6724. And please correct me if I'm wrong. And you get hand winding and hacking, like I said, and this does have 22 joules and a 40-hour power reserve. And this is an overall impressive watch. It's a very elegant, and it's really hard to beat for this price. And considering there's so many variants of this watch, there will be an Orient Bambino for everyone. And especially for this $150 price point, you cannot beat this. This watch looks a lot more expensive than it is, and that's why the Orient Bambino has a big cult following around it, and you can really see why. And like I said earlier, the version 1 is my personal favorite, and I'm planning to keep this watch for a very long time. And this is one of my favorite dress watches in my collection, and it is my least expensive dress watch, and I couldn't be any happier with my Orient Bambino version 1. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my review and my take on the Orient Bambino version 1. It is a beautiful watch, especially for that $150 price point. And there's a reason why the Orient Bambino line is so popular. And with all the looks it has, the accurate movement it has, and just the way it looks overall, this is going to be a classic for a very, very long time. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please leave a comment down below what you guys think of the Orient Bambino, and leave a comment down below telling me what's your favorite version of this watch. And remember, I respond back to every single comment I get, and remember to stay humble.